أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Again, my name is Fahim Rafiq and I'm with Sheikh Muhammad Adly from Columbia, South Carolina. Sheikh Muhammad Adly is the Imam of Masjid Muslimin in Columbia, South Carolina. Sheikh Muhammad Adly has been doing da'wah in the United States for at least over 33 years. So very versed, very familiar with a lot of questions. And I am going to ask him a question here today concerning certain actions that people use to justify from the Sahabas that they did, and people use it today to justify certain actions that we considered as bid'ah. Okay? Now, there are a lot of things that people do that they're saying that they do this because Umar did this or Uthman did this, and they use, and Sheikh Adly will come to that, the actions later, but I'm just bringing it up front because these actions are not in accordance with anything to do with any established Islamic evidence. So I want Sheikh Adly to address it, that people do actions and say they have good bid'ah and bad bid'ah, and then they use these actions to justify it, what the Sahabas did. So Sheikh, can you go into it quickly and address it, please?
Okay. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. I will start with the statement of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which he said, not I said, the Prophet said, فَإِنَّ كُلَّ مُحْدَثَةٍ بِدْعَةٍ. Indeed, every addition to the religion of Islam is innovation.
Okay, stop 1 second. Every addition to Islam. So where does it stop? Where does anything stop where the Prophet ﷺ concerned, or Allah?
When it forms, when you act in anything to please Allah, if it's not introduced by the Prophet ﷺ, it's not been practiced by the Sahaba, it's not understood by the first generation, this is not part of the deen. It have to be in the book of Allah, or it have to be in the sunnah of Rasulullah ﷺ, or to be the approval of the Sahaba did something and the Prophet didn't correct them about it. So this is like you have a frame and you have a picture. The picture have to fit in. The frame is the deen, Quran, Sunnah, the understanding of the Sahaba. Whatever that you're doing, if it doesn't fit in this frame, out this way or out this way is not going to work. So anything you're going to do it for purpose of getting closer to Allah, pleasing Allah, worshiping Allah, if it doesn't match what Allah said, what the Prophet said, is not going to be acceptable. The Prophet saying that anything that you introduce to the deen, doesn't matter if it's aqidah, if it's ibadah, if it, you're going to come with something, a new methodology, a new understanding to worship Allah, is not acceptable. This is called addition. So always ask, did the Prophet say this? Did the Prophet approve this? Did the Sahaba understood this? If no, first if he said yes, you bring the evidence. So if he said no, so who gave you the authority? You add to the deen of Allah.
Okay, so now basically adding to the deen of Allah is called innovation.
Yes, bid'ah, innovation.
Is bid'ah, innovation.
Yes.
So now, there's a next hadith supporting this, with which Aisha radiallahu anha told us about. Aisha, the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She told us about
من أحدث في أمرنا هذا ما ليس منه فهو رد. Whosoever introduce anything to this religion that is not part of it is going to be rejected. Doesn't matter if it's salah, if it's zakah, if it's whatever, if it's not matching and if it's not been introduced by the Prophet, it will be rejected. Okay,
good. So we might be thinking that we're doing something good, but in actuality that will be disregarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a good deed.
Yes.
That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so we have to be very careful. Now, some of the people use this evidence of Umar radiallahu anhu when he introduced the the Tarawih.
Tarawih?
Yes.
Okay.
And he said that some people saying that you know the whole scenario about it. So can you address it for me, please?
In actuality, Umar didn't introduce anything. Umar, what he did, revived. There is a difference between come with something new and something that was forgotten or but put hold in it, and now we can use it now. Okay? So, is the Taraweeh prayer or Tahajjud prayer or night prayer is in the deen or not? It is in the deen.
Yeah.
And it is in the Quran and it is in the Sunnah. وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَتَهَجَّدْ بِهِ نَافِلَةً لَكَ. So Allah talk about Tahajjud. Okay? كَانُوا قَلِيلًا مِنَ اللَّيْلِ مَا يَعُونَ وَبِالْأَسْحَارِ هُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ. They used to sleep little during the night. And during the night, you understand, they're making the prayer. So there is Tahajjud in the Quran. Allah said about it. And the Prophet, by his action, he used to make Tahajjud. Every time, every day, not only in Ramadan. Okay? But the issue here, the Sahaba came one day and they start pray behind the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay?
That you're talking in the month of Ramadan.
No. Was a night prayer.
Okay.
Doesn't matter was Ramadan or other than Ramadan.
Okay.
But it was a night prayer.
Okay.
So the Sahaba came and pray behind the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Okay.
So now the news goes to the community, and the next night more people coming.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So this is the second night the Prophet started to make the prayer, and you understand the Sahaba is following him.
Okay.
The third night, okay, more and more people came to the masjid.
Okay.
And here the Prophet ﷺ didn't get up for the night prayer for this night, intentionally.
Okay.
So some of them started making the noise, and some people knocking, or some people, and they thought the Prophet ﷺ overslept.
Okay.
And they want to enjoy hearing the recitation and the salah to be led by the Prophet, especially during the night.
Okay.
The Prophet didn't acknowledge them.
Okay.
Later on he said, by Allah, I know that you was there. Okay?
Okay.
And the reason I didn't come out to continue doing this, okay? Because I'm scared that Allah maybe will make it obligatory in you. And now will be a hardship for you.
I see.
So, now, the question here, did the Prophet make Tahajjud prayer or not? Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Okay.
Did the Prophet ﷺ let the Sahaba or the Sahaba pray behind him or not? Yes, he did. So what had stopped this? That because the fear of the Prophet and the concern of the Prophet for his ummah, that whatever that they're doing is not going to be hardship or became obligatory on them.
Okay.
When things can be obligatory or not obligatory in the lifetime of the Prophet ﷺ. After the death of the Prophet ﷺ, there is no more revelation. And nobody has the authority to make something optional to be obligatory, or something from Islam is not from Islam, or something not from Islam to be Islam. With the death of the Prophet, the message finalized.
Okay, so okay, good. So that's what I was trying to ask you earlier. That at what point did this addition to Al-Islam comes in?
There is no addition now. The Prophet did this for 2 or 3 nights, okay? But watch. And after this, he stopped.
Right.
So that means everybody now you go do it in your own, because if we continue in this, it may be Allah put it as obligation on us.
Right.
Now later on, Umar comes, you understand, and he brings them together again under one Imam.
I see.
So now, did Umar introduce something new to the deen or revive something was in the deen?
Okay, he did revive something.
He revived it. So he did not introduce something.
Okay.
So the people who using this as evidence, they absolutely mistaken, because innovation means introducing something new. It's not known to the Sahaba, it's not been practiced by the Prophet, it's not been acceptable, but nothing, okay? But the Prophet had started already, and he did it for 2 or 3 nights, and after this stopped out of fear of it became obligation. So Umar later on say, okay, the Prophet did already. So there is no more addition or deletion in Islam. So now is no way that is going to be obligatory on them. So he got them together again and he established what had established in the lifetime of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this is like you say, building a house or renovating a house. Okay? So the house, you understand, was the water is running, okay? But you stop it, okay, for a minor repair or whatever it is, or because it's cold now. So when you come later on and you open the faucet, okay, you did not add a new faucet, you did not make a new connection, okay? But now the purpose that stopped is not exist anymore, so now we can continue. So Umar revived his sunnah, he did not add something to the deed.
So what about this misconception now that Omar, we know for a fact from hadith and from what I read that the Prophet ﷺ read only 11 rak'ah in the night, in the tahajjud.
Okay, okay.
But there are people who are saying that Omar did 20 rak'ah. He arranged 20.
Umar didn't do 20 rak'at.
Okay.
Umar did not do 20 rak'at, okay? And if it's correct, this is Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, okay, which is not one of the Khalifa, okay, the Khulafa are 4. Plus, you understand, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a hadith about Aisha, ما زاد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في رمضان ولا في غير عن 11 ركعة. Aisha radiallahu anha is saying the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam never did more than 11 rak'at in Ramadan or other than Ramadan.
So then the next argument comes up, and this for the viewers' knowledge, that they're saying that in Makkah and Medina, they're doing 20 rak'ah there. So,
but listen, you understand, what about, okay, Mecca and Medina? Is Mecca and Medina receiving revelation?
No.
Are the Imam there, you understand, infallible, or that he getting revelation? Action of the people is not constitute what Islam is.
Okay.
You see, what about if you say in Azhar, they do, you understand, 40 rak'at as example. What you're going to do? So now we're going to start to make the action of the people evidence, and instead Quran and Sunnah to be the evidence. But nevertheless, let me even accept this for a moment. There is a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, "Man qama Ramadan imanan wa ihtisaban." Whosoever revives the night of Ramadan, establish prayer during the night of Ramadan, out of fear and hope in Allah, will be forgiven. Okay? So there is a generality here that he said for you to make a qiyam al-layl.
Yes.
So that means he make it general, and maybe some people understood from this. Because sometimes can be hadith there, and the understanding of the hadith is different even with the Sahaba. So let's not use this as evidence that you had invented something.
Right.
The issue itself, that night prayer was exist in the lifetime of the Prophet, and that under one Imam, which was the Prophet, had existed in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the last issue we can debate about it, you understand, and we have the hadith the Prophet made only 11 rak'at. So the issue now, can we make 20 or not? This it can maybe can be acceptable, not because that Mecca and Medina doing this. This is not. I tell you one thing from my personal experience. When I used to live in Medina, and this in 1970, they used to call the adhan 4 or 5 times. They mean one adhan. This I'm witness, and I heard it with myself. Okay? I lived in Medina, and I saw and I heard it. That means there is minarets, and there is 4 mu'adhin for the same prayer. So that this muazzin say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. When he finished, the second muazzin say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. After the third. So they repeated it, you understand? Like what you call echo.
Okay.
Okay. So, but so the azan used to take 10 to 15 minutes to be called.
I see.
It's staying for a while like this. So what? So somebody can say that this is sunnah? No, it's not.
It's not.
Okay. But alhamdulillah, now it changed. So action of the people doesn't constitute what Islam is.
So for our viewers' benefit here again, I would like to just reiterate what Sheikh Muhammad Adly is saying, is that do what is correct and do according to the Sunnah, then there is no question to arise from this.
Yeah.
If something is clearly established, then we follow what is clearly established and stay away from bid'ah or innovation.
Exactly.
If Aisha radiallahu anha said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam never prayed in or out of Ramadan 11 rak'ah, then we stick by that. She is an authority. After the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam died, she gave a lot of hadith, and she was the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She was the youngest of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
And she was observing.
And she was observing everything of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
So she's not given something from you, understand her own mind.
Right. So with this in mind, please, our audience, take it into consideration. Yeah, like Sheikh Adly said a few minutes ago, that you want to pray, and whoever wants to pray how they want to pray, but if you follow the Sunnah, you cannot go wrong.
Exactly.
Okay? So let's bear this
and in
mind.
the Sunnah there is enough. Why we have to go out of the Sunnah?
Well, we don't have to implore on
sufficient
people.
for us.
We don't have to implore on people
Yes.
to say you have to pray 20 rakat
Yes.
because Makkah pray 20 rakat or
Exactly.
Medina pray 20
Exactly.
rakat. So what about if I'm in Makkah now and they're praying 20 rakat? Should I pray my 11 rakat and move on, or should I follow the Imam?
You follow the Imam so you can get the reward of the whole night prayer.
Okay.
Okay.
So
that
if
the
he's
Prophet
praying 20,
is saying
you pray 20.
exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Nevertheless, that the Taraweeh prayer is an optional prayer.
It's optional prayer.
We shouldn't make this as an issue to bring about differences and disunity among ourselves.
Right.
But we use in this incident, some people use the incident of Umar dead as evidence that you can invent in the deen.
Right.
Again, Umar did not invent. Umar revived a sunnah that was already practiced before.
Okay.
And this is two different things between inventing and reviving something.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So with this, I would like to thank our viewers. This is a short note just to clear the air about this good bid'ah and bad bid'ah situation. That is there any hadith to say that when Omar put the one imam to lead, he said what a good bid'ah this is? Is there any hadith?
This is linguistic. He was talking linguistic. Okay. How Omar would know that this has been practiced by the Prophet and he will believe that this is bid'ah? How Omar can know that the Prophet is saying that any new thing introduced to the Islam is bid'ah and every bid'ah is misguidance, and he will believe? This is his talking linguistic. That means a good methodology that been revived. He does not mean that something been invented has no roots in Islam.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So with this in mind, I would like to clear at least the air has been cleared somewhat with Sheikh Muhammad Adly, and inshallah let us start doing the right thing for our deen, inshallah.
Thank you.
Jazakumullah khair, Sheikh. Thank you so much for enlightening us. Thank you.
We're looking forward to see you again for other segment, inshallah.